Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Beast of Ishtar, the self-proclaimed sheriff of Fortnite, and here today I have a different kind of video for you. I just have the gameplay here as a forefront, and I'm speaking in the background on a separate recording to talk to you guys about 10 things I think you should all be doing to improve your gameplay at Fortnite. Now, I conducted this top 10 based on things that I see in the game, and I think that people need them to use as improvement to help better their gameplay, because I still see people committing these cardinal sins, if you were to say that, in the game, like hiding in bushes, or not looting everything, or not knowing where to look for loot, or just general craziness that it's like makes you scratch your head when you play against these people. So let's jump into the list. Now, starting with number one, I wanted to start with the first thing that you do when you play Fortnite, and that's drop into the map. So there's nothing wrong with dropping into your favorite spot. I'm sure many of you here have picked a spot on the map that no matter what, you want to go to it, and I say there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about the storm per se. I mean, typically if the bus is on the left side of the map and you jump to the far right, then there's a chance that you're gonna have to go like to the lower left side for the storm, you know. So you gotta keep that in mind whenever you do pick a spot that's far away from the bus. But if it's your favorite map, if it's your favorite part of the map, then go for it. By all means, do that, because if you can find a gun real fast, that's all you really need, right? Find a gun, kill some people, get some loot, and stay in the running until the last kill, get your victory royale. So that's very important. So I would say that's good. Establish a loot route where you want to go, and that's about it. All right, now number two, the second one here, is make sure you gather materials. And I know a lot of you are like, oh really? That's a tip? Well, there's a lot of people who don't gather materials, and in the early round it may be okay when there's a bunch of people and you're just fighting without cover and things like that. But in the end game is where that becomes a problem, because you're always going to need a base. You're always going to need some kind of cover when you're getting shot, and the more and more you're getting better at Fortnite, you'll run across good players that as soon as you shoot them, they're going to start building a base. So you need to be able to counteract that, make it a push on them by getting above them, get that vertical flank. So you need to gather materials everywhere you go. There's never, unless you're maxed out at 999, you should always be getting materials somewhere. All right, now the next one here is a thing that I see a lot of players do. They don't pay attention, and that's when you're running, make sure you're looking to your left, to your right, occasionally behind you, because you never know when someone can see you and they're just behind you waiting for you to stop, or they're just ready to get closer to you to kill you with a shotgun or something like that. So always pay attention to your surroundings. I can't stress this enough. I can't tell you how many times that I've ran behind players for following, we're going into the storm and I'm right behind the guy, doesn't even know, he builds up a base, and then I just, jump up in his base and shoot him. Or even if they have a base, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not paying attention. You're getting tunnel vision. You're just looking straight in front of you. You're not looking left. You're not looking right. You're not, And that also going into that's a visual cue. It's also sound cues. If you're going to play Fortnite, you're going to need a good headset. I wouldn't base it off TV volume or like one of those $20 like Microsoft headsets that really don't give you sound. You need to be able to hear footsteps, because that's something that's going to save your life. If you can hear someone rolling up on you, you can just turn around, bust them with a shotgun. Then, sound cues is different, and visual cues are the most helpful things you can get from this game. All right, and the fourth tip I have is whenever you're running a flank, if you're fighting someone and you want to flank left or right to get around them, my tip is, while you're running, occasionally every now and then crouch walk. And you probably will raise in the comments and call me a potato for that, but what I mean to say is that when you crouch walk, you don't have a dust trail. And that dust trail, when you're in a full sprint, you don't notice it because you're never looking at your feet, but there's a dust trail that comes behind you when you're in a full sprint. And if I'm fighting you and you decide to flank me, if I can see that dust trail, I know where you're going, so I just a counter flank with that visual cue. So good helpful tip. Whenever you're running at someone and you're trying to do whenever you're trying to do a flank, it's always good to crouch walk. Just every now and then. Don't do it all the time. All right, the fifth tip is something that can save your life time and time again. It's helped me out a lot. And that's when you're scaling a mountain or making a ramp, like making stairs. And once you get to the top, turn around, use the flat icon, just in between the wall and the stairs, cap your ramp off. That way people can't just come up behind you. And to add on to that, if you have one, pop a floor trap onto it. It's a 2-for-1. You're just about are clear to not worry about people behind you, because if they do run up behind you on your ramp, then they're going to get killed by the floor trap. So just remember that whenever you're scaling, whenever you're going up somewhere, whenever you're elevating yourself, make sure you cap it off so people can't just walk up your ramp. The sixth tip is just a personal preference of mine, but it helps because it helps once you get that muscle memory, it's like you don't need to really worry about which slot's where. You're going to memorize it. And it's establishing an organized gear slot or hotbar. Basically your item slots, the 5 item slots you get. Make sure they're organized to a T. You don't want to run something like health kit, gun, grenade, gun, slurp juice, gun. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are using, let's use that again. Let's start over. So you got a health kit, AR, slurp juice, shotgun, bandages, sniper. So, for instance, if you're shooting at them with the AR and you're out of ammo, you need to switch to a gun. If you click it over once, it's just going to be something that's not a gun. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen this happen many times where I'm fighting people and they need to switch guns because they ran out of ammo, and then you're standing still drinking a potion. So, I mean, I get to kill because now they're stuck in that animation. So it's always good to establish an organized gear slot. All right, and coming in at number 7, we have try every weapon and use weapons you're comfortable with. So no matter what you hear, no matter what you see for streamers or your favorite player or anything like that, I know most of you want to copy them because they're a good player, but try every weapon to see which one you are most comfortable with. So don't always just go for a scar, or playing with your teammates especially. Be like, oh, give me the bolt because I seen this guy, he's super good with the bolt and I want to be super good like him. Like, practice with it. Practice every gun. Use the pistols, use the revolvers, use the shotguns. I mean, I'm even guilty of this one because I refuse to use the scoped AR. I'm terrible with it. I still don't think I'll ever use it, but I mean, I probably should. Probably should use it because, I mean, you never know. I might can become quite good with it and be able to just get victory royales with that alone. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yes, try every weapon that you can. Get used to every weapon. Get used to what it's good at, what it's not good at, what it's capable of, what it's not capable of. And it'll definitely help you to become a better player. All right, and coming in at number 8, we have to get better at combat or combat building. Put yourself into combat by dropping into highly populated areas. That is the ultimate thing to get better at combat, is to put yourself into a position where you're going to be fighting a bunch of people. I would also input, if you're more of a solo player and you like playing by yourself, try jumping into solo squads and going against a team of 4. And I know it's gonna be it's going to be a tedious grind, especially if you keep losing to that team of 4. But I think as long as you keep pushing, then you'll be able to take them on anytime. The more and more that you're better at taking on multiple people, the better off you're going to be playing solos, because you'll be able to handle a pinch. What I mean by that is that if you got a fort in the middle of the circle and there's 5 people still alive in solos, then you'll be able to handle them with no problem, because you'll be able to build under pressure, be able to shoot under pressure, and I think that'll help you. So I definitely recommend that. Number 9, this is the next 2 things I have are something that I get mad about when I see it, and it's ridiculous because it shouldn't happen. For the love of God, loot ammo boxes. When you're in a house, sometimes underneath the staircase, there's a green canister. It has ammo in it. Get that. Sometimes when you're in a house, on the table is a green canister. Next to the bed in the bedroom, there's a canister. In the ceiling in the attic, there's a canister. They're usually everywhere. Get ammo boxes. Use the ammo boxes. I can't stress that enough. That'll help you because especially if you're solo squads, having 30 shots in the AR it's not going to last you long in a fight. So, for the love of God, loot ammo boxes. All right, and the next tip is another thing that I see a lot of players do, and it only applies to duos and squads, is because the player is downed. And it's after you down someone, don't immediately start shooting them, because it'll take more shots. Case in point, you're running at a guy with a shotgun, and you knock him down. You don't just, as he's falling down and he's crawling around, don't just keep shooting him, because you're going to waste 3 to 4 shots just to kill him. Let him get downed, and then wait about 3 seconds if you can, and just shoot him once in the head. Plain and simple. That way, you're not wasting ammo, and you'll be able to shoot that guy and then focus on whoever's standing. And that's also the second tip I have. If you're fighting more than one person in that scenario, like if you shot a guy down and then you got another guy walking to you, don't shoot the guy that's on the ground. Shoot the guy that's standing up, because especially if you're in duos, it's the easiest way to explain this example. Same example, you shoot the guy down with a shotgun, and instead of waiting for him to go down and shoot him, focus on the player that's still alive. Yes, I know that the guy on the ground more than likely is communicating. That's fine, because that person who is walking around has to come to you to get his teammate, because if he doesn't get his teammate's going to bleed out. So you wait for the guy that's still standing to come into the area that you're in. You know, you'll hear him, you'll see him, kill him, and then it'll kill the guy on the ground. So 2 for 1. You're not wasting ammo. You're being efficient, and you'll be able to do better in the rounds as you go. And that's the tips I have for you today. If I left anything out you think I should cover in the next video, please leave it down in the comment section below. Make sure that if you have not, that you subscribe to the channel for more Fortnite content. And that's it, guys. You guys have a great day. My name is Beast of Ishtar, and we'll see you in the next one.